Greetings, I am Empress Aziza, and you are listening to the West Indian Magazine vlogcast. If you're hearing my vlog for the first time, it is my hope that you find nuggets in these words that guide you towards your own awakening. Share the vlogcast so that each one teach one, we all might reach some. I trust that you're flowing with ease through this consciousness shift we are experiencing in this realm. There is a cleanup of our physical and spiritual world in progress. While we peek into the windows of other people's lives, always remember to clean your window first so that you can have clear vision in your knowing. We are almost at the end of this cycle that has kept us in prison for generations. This is go time. This is the now. Green means go. It's time to level up. Very soon, we will be in paradise and a return to the sweet waters of the Divine Mother. This vlogcast is entitled Fruit of the Womb or Poison Grapes. Why are we here? Why are we providing crumbs? You, the people, have the power. You, the people, forgot how to play. The exposure is all in the open. The desperation smells louder than a public beach men's room. The gut punches are hitting hard. Everything will hit harder this month. This is Red October, the final phase. Level 1 unlock. Let's go. Thousands of years ago, the negative alien agenda and the power elite Luciferian bloodlines discovered that in order to gain access to the planetary staff and spiritual energetic gateways, stargates, portals, interdimensional links into different timelines, they would need to find ways to capture the mother aspect of the Godhead. In order to capture the mother aspect, they would have to gain control over the Dark Mother and gravitational or magnetic field manipulation. The power elite are a small group of people who conjure black magic through dark rituals that are used for maintaining contact with the negative alien agenda in order to control the entire planet through the manipulation of the collective consciousness using fear-based programming that is transmitted by way of mind control. The power elite are also known as the Dark Cabal, controllers or those entities running the shadow government. The negative alien agenda can best be understood as a psychopathic personality or identity profile with a lack of empathy that has no feeling or remorse. To be able to understand the sociopathic sick mind of the archontic deception system, one would need to better understand the general attitude of an infected person. For an advanced extra-dimensional races to implement a gradual takeover of the planet and its inhabitants, what kind of strategy would it use? One of the strategies the Archons employed was the victim-victimizer strategy, using mind control based on divide and conquer tactics. The victim-victimizer unfortunate result is that unstable people that have not done much mental or emotional clearing have built up hidden pain and trauma that are easily controlled and manipulated by dark forces to play out their fears in the lower mind. These types of people go unconscious and flip out very easily, are very weak spiritually, have low impulse control, and are at a high risk for dark portal use or possession. The dark forces will groom and manipulate these unstable personalities. The indoctrination is started at birth and can be entrained by childhood, thus superimposing these behaviors on babies and children. When the baby or child is victimized by an abuser, they grow up as adults that inflict abuse upon their victims, thereby switching their roles interchangeably. The indoctrination and repeated patterns of abuse are cycled throughout and are medicated with mind altering and neurologically harming pharmaceuticals as soon as possible. Some of the behaviors of an infected person may include false friends. I am so proud of you, but a hidden agenda is I want to eat your light. Then you have the false parent. I am your protector, your nurturer. But the hidden agenda is a role playing and divert you from you realizing your real path. The seducer. You're so cute, but a hidden agenda is false flattery. And then there's the hero. On the surface, it is, oh, let me save you. But a hidden agenda is, let me steal your resources so that I can be more powerful than you. And then there's the silent enemy, who sits and waits for a vulnerability and monitoring for aggression to divert and create chaos and disruption. Another destructive strategy the archons used was the patriarchal domination, which was enforced through abusers and alpha male power to control women and those ranked lower on the social or religious classification system. This was done through violence, fear, and intimidation. This is a learned skill that is promoted in a variety of ways or is mimicked from boys watching their fathers or male authority figures. The inserted alien architecture programs called the Dark Mother or False Parent was a victimizer archetype that was used to create pain and trauma in the child when that child is totally dependent upon that adult. When abuse is suffered in childhood, destructive attachments and negative bonds are formed within the child that carry into adulthood if they are not cleared. One may see these patterns carry over with child sexual abuse, which is an archontic negative alien agenda strategy developed to traumatize humanity. A child who is sexually abused grows into an adult who abuses children. The role of the victim and victimizer is interchangeable and promotes violence, hatred, trauma, abuse, and misery, which set the person up into addiction. The black magic fields are used to power up the Baphomet energies. The Baphomet energy is a frequency and a consciousness in the earth that came into creation as spirits, which are black force substance to conjure and call upon the demonic hierarchies and negative disincarnates in the satanic ritual abuse and blood sacrifice. Most people are unaware they are dark spirits that are assigned certain purposes by the humans and non-humans who invoke them. We live in a multi-dimensional world with every kind of spirit force one could imagine. There are spirits of hate, spirits of rape, spirits of poverty, and spirits of pedophilia. The field exists in the lower dimension and contains many hierarchies of the lower spirits, such as demons. Baphomet is used to access the elemental kingdoms to control forces in the third dimension physical reality by conjuring rituals and other ways of self-promotion. This is a source of ancient pain held in the planet body when we lost our mother, and it is felt in all lineages of the Holy Mother, the Cathar lines, the Mary Magdalene, the Sophias, which are the female genetic equal partner of the masculine form of the Christos. The archontic forces control this anti-mother consciousness or the dark mother consciousness in humanity. To keep the mother suppressed, they had to suppress her daughters. The reversal mother or dark mother was born from the universal shadow and the lunar matrix and is the anti-female collective consciousness of the black dragons and satanics. The earth soul was hijacked and her womb replaced with the reversal dark mother energy. The suppressed daughter's accumulated collective consciousness is harvested by the negative aliens to gain energetic power from the earth grid and from humanity by hijacking and raping the female and mother principal energies. What you have just heard is about humanity's fall due to the manipulation of the extra dimensional entities who have found skillful and diabolical ways to siphon our energy by hijacking the female energy. We are a product of our environment. We came from the earth, and the earth is where we, our bodies, are returned. Our soul was infected because of the manipulations of these off-world entities. Therefore, what we produce in the womb, which is the seed of all creation, will also inherit at some level of victimizer, and sexual misery programming. A mother is a child's first everything. She is the first to hold the baby close, the first to breathe in his sweet, addictive scent, the first to feel his heart expand to 1,000 times its size, the first to feed him, to snuggle to tell him his first stories, and to whisper and sing him to sleep. She is the first protection and provider of a safe space. Mothers influence their children's attachment style, emotional regulations and empathy, social skills, cognitive development, and their sense of self in a variety of traits. The bond between a mother and her child is not only profound, but also significantly influential to the child's growth and development. From the earliest stages of its life, the interactions that a child has with his mother can set the foundation for their future health, resilience, and overall well-being. A son is a mother's last true love, and a mother is a son's first true love. The video below gives a snapshot of Sean Combs' early childhood and the trauma he experienced from his mother at such an early age.
The word on the street is his mom, Denise Combs, was an escort, and she would sometimes make Diddy watch her indulge in these freak-offs when he was still a kid. As if this wasn't bad enough, his dad was also the leader of a very notorious gang in Harlem back in the day, and he would physically assault people and sometimes even unalive them in front of Diddy. Now, this don't any of his behavior, not one bit, but it
The video gives some context to his early life. As I researched information about Sean Combs for the West Indian magazine blog, a tale of terror, disgust, anger, frustration, and a whole host of emotions flooded my mind. There is a saying, hurt people hurt people. It would appear that Sean Combs hurt a lot of people just because he could. He is not a victim of his own monstrous behavior.
I pray you have ears to hear, because there's an evil approaching. In fact, it's already here. Our children are being taken, tortured, and abused, sold for money, unseen and used, enduring the unspeakable, breathing fear with every breath, their silent screams unanswered, afraid and scared to death. Will anyone rescue me? Will you carry me away? Bring me to a place of no suffering or pain. Come quickly. I pray you have ears to hear, because there's an evil approaching. He's here.
He is not a victim in the same sense or in the same light that I saw those children who were brought up from the tunnels in New York and in Washington, Europe, and recently in the Ukraine who were sex trafficked and chained up like dogs. He had a choice, but for the children he abused and chained up, he took theirs. I thought about those children in Africa, the Caribbean, and Mali who are trafficked and in instances never heard from again. My mind flooded back to the child who was found on Hillary Clinton's laptop, the pain and horror etched in her face while still alive as her limbs were torn from her body. I remember the story of Ali Carter, who for years spoke about the horrific abuse she endured as a child.
The tunnels from Diddy's house led to Hugh Hefner's house. That naked pool was down there long before Diddy was able to buy a home. It was Hugh Hefner's house where most of the offenses that the women accused Bill Cosby of took place. The Playboy Mansion. And everybody know Hugh Hefner was filming, had cameras in the wall. I don't know. Did anybody ever ask whether or not Bill Cosby had a freak off tape? Next thing you know, his son is dying. Next thing you know, all kinds of weird things keep on happening. All of that fame, all of that success. If they really wanted to take him down with all of this, they should have did it in the late 80s or the early 90s.
So if Diddy is the diddler, who is the Joker?
The Jigga Man.
I hate to see who Two-Face is. So wait, so let me ask.
Two-Face? That's Mary J. Blige.
Oh, damn.
No. 50 is the penguin on a diet.
Oh, it's my this guy. Damn.
Curtis?
Okay.
You can find him in the club. Right, so you can find him in the club.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. So let me ask you, when Pierce...
Hopefully not at Coco Pele.
Damn.
I got somebody looking for you there.
Damn.
I know you're tight, Curtis. You gonna fall for one of my niggas real soon. See if you figure out which one.
Oh, my God. So,
I had somebody watching your ass the second you came down to the clerk's office. Now, you might have been able to pay everybody down there to get on Facebook and lie about me and say that I was arrested for kidnapping and elderly abuse. Y'all remember when I got arrested and brought here to Dallas after I got extradited? What was it, for kidnapping and elderly abuse?
yes.
It was for me being a fugitive.
Oh, yeah, fugitive.
Because DJ Genesis made me a fugitive when she pretended to be Angela Owusu and broke my bond. So that King World and the Bean Team could come in and swoop in online and have me arrested as a fugitive. I was arrested as a fugitive, not for kidnapping. I don't have any of those charges. So why does everybody believe it? Why was it all over Facebook? Why did 50 Cent run around talking to every independent white business owner that I went to and talked to and told them about me wanting to run for mayor? Why did you go and buy them all off, Curtis?
Wait, so you did a PSA on Curtis about him and Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
On the cover of him. You know, you kind of poking the bear there.
I'm not poking a bear. I'm saying that he's a stone. And I've spoken to two men he's lived in sales with, who you had sex with, Curtis. No, I'm not saying allegedly. And you know it.
I'm going to do my Pierce Morgan and say he's not here to defend himself. So
no,
we're
and neither is his asshole. I'm over Curtis.
Jaguar Wright has been talking about the nefarious thing that goes on in Hollywood, especially in the music industry, for years. She calls Sean Carter and Sean Combs monsters. The Lake Kim Porter memoir contains details of Combs' parties, illegal activities, and abuse towards Porter herself. Jaguar Wright was labeled as mental and unstable, and perhaps there's a deep level of trauma and rejection in her own life journey. She often spoke of being a victim of date rape, drugs, and the abuse she suffered while trying to attain stardom. It would seem that this situation blew up overnight. But what people don't recognize was Sean Combs was allegedly ratted out by Sean Carter, who himself is under investigation by the Southern District of New York. The elite threw Sean Combs into the fire to throw the investigators off of their scent. What they didn't realize is that the demon they threw into the fire was the fuse that ignited it all, that exposed them all. Remember Jay-Z's music video that featured satanic head priestess Maria Abramovich? Then there's that famous Kanye West rant in the middle of the concerts back in 2014 telling Jay-Z not to send killers after his head. Curtis Jackson, who have no love for Sean Combs, trolled him back in 2018 amid the allegations that Sean Combs is gay, involved in sex trafficking, rape, and harassment. Curtis Jackson, also known as 50 Cent, compared Sean Combs to convicted sex trafficking offender Jeffrey Epstein. This arrest, as stated, will be the undoing of many as its tentacles reach far and wide. This isn't just a celebrity scandal, it's a story that links Sean Combs to a web of political elites. It ties in with the Clintons, Epstein, and, believe it or not, Kamala Harris. No wonder CEOs are fleeing and going underground. Celebrities are lawyering it up, and many governments or those in governmental positions are nervous. They were all caught in compromising positions. This could possibly be the biggest takedown in political history. In my last vlog, I mentioned the warehouse Diddy owned and was discovered in Florida, stockpiled with adrenochrome. It contained thousands of adrenochrome infusion bags stored in refrigerated chests. Apparently, in P. Diddy's freak-offs, adrenochrome flowed like tap water. Adrenochrome is taken from children that have been raped and tortured to elicit the highest level of adrenal from the body. He was a wholesaler and a peddler of adrenochrome like Epstein. Epstein's Zorro Ranch was a baby factory where undocumented children are raised for sex, organ harvesting, adrenochrome harvesting, mind control, satanic rituals, cannibalism, and anything else you can imagine. Human trafficking and pedophilia go to the highest level: health, media, education, and even governments. This P. Diddy arrest spells the fall of the cabal. As the layers peel back, the web includes murder, sex trafficking, pedophilia, drugs, and extortion, all conducted through the entertainment industry. The pedophile ring includes pastors and churches. Sean Combs has a kill switch of information, videos, recordings, statements, match data, and terabytes of information which he has saved over 30 years. He saved it all, just in case one day they try to kill him or blame him for the music industry corruption. Sound the alarm, that day is here. By all accounts, P. Diddy is a monster and a demon. Yes, a demon seed, but he is a small fry in this big pond that expands beyond the confines of Hollywood and the music industry. While all eyes are on Diddy, the International Common Law Criminal Court of Justice, the ICLCJ court in Brussels, heard testimony from two adolescent women that Pope Francis raped when they were participating in child sacrifices during the spring of 2009 and 2010 in rural Holland and Belgium. Notarized affidavits by 8 others claim to witness these same crimes organized by the Vatican. According to the witnesses, Pope Francis helped traffic 30,000 children of missing political prisoners into the Vatican pedophile ring. Yes, you heard it correct. The Vatican was a capital for the child sex trafficking breeding hub. In July 2014, the ICLCJ found defendants Pope Francis Bergoglio, Catholic Jesuit Superior General Adolfo Pachon, and Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby guilty of rape, torture, murder, and the trafficking of children. Thousands of bones were unearthed in July 2019 in two ossuaries discovered in the Vatican. What about the mass grave full of baby bones found along the shores of the Israeli Mediterranean coast? Not to mention the indigenous group in Saskatchewan on the site of a former boarding school where 751 people, mainly children, were found in unmarked graves. There are more sinister and devious monsters in the world, doing dastardly, devious, and evil things that will be made known soon. This is the end of the wicked rule of the archontic deception strategy that has plagued this planet for far too long. This bubble of deception will burst in November 2024 with the start of the Nuremberg Trials 2.0. So, get your popcorn ready and your Kool-Aid chilled. It's about to be Fright Night. The womb is the source of creation. It is the black void where all manifestation of life emerges in the physical and spiritual. It is the sum total of all possibilities, of all potentials. It is the fertility and abundance. The womb is a stargate, a portal. The womb also is a symbol of the Great Mother. Women are its keepers, its high priestesses. Our womb is what makes us divinely feminine. The feminine energy has been unbalanced for thousands of years due to an overly dominating patriarchal ruling, not only in society but also in religion and spirituality. Sexual violence and abuse, distorted and unloving sexuality, difficult childbirth, abortion, miscarriage results in womb trauma and grief. In women, all trauma, regardless of its source, comes to rest in the womb. Our womb also holds a historically and collectively remembered trauma due to the fact that each of us sits in our mother's physical womb for 9 months, during which time we are receiving and imprinting the energy of her womb trauma and in turn the trauma of her mother and grandmother. Having been the receivers of sexual violence, distorted and unloving sexuality, controlling and constricting spouses and lovers has directly disconnected us from the wombs of the womb. For centuries, this female energy has been pushed aside, and as a result, all that she brings to humanity has receded from societies, resulting in imbalanced patriarchy and the epidemic of toxic masculinity. This is a call for women to wake up, to begin the healing and the releasing of their traumas so that they may birth gods on the planet. This awakening is the awakening of the feminine power in a newer and more profound way to fit the needs of this time by embracing their highest spiritual destinies. She is also awakening and anointing within her sons who honor, respect, and love her and her daughters. So at this time, many women are choosing to reclaim the innate wisdom and create harmony between the masculine and the feminine energy. Our bodies have a genetic material and a sentience that is God technology, and that God technology is starting to work it in a really big way now. This is a return to you. What will you produce? Fruit of the womb or poison grapes? Thank you for listening. I am Empress Aziza. Peace and blessings.
The
Supplemental. As I was completing this documentary, a colleague sent me some information that adds to the document. I am including that document in this piece. Why? Because of Helen, the hurricane that just devastated North Carolina and South Carolina, the White Hats apprehended the biggest sex trafficker of all. They have been looking for him for 30 years, and it proved difficult because that person changed their face through plastic surgery so many times. But because of this hurricane, they were able to nab him. Only after bodies washed down the river with children which were already shot. So this is very, very key. This is cleanup time. This is a time where we live in a land of prosperity. And I know it is hard to believe because we've never seen that, but this is what awaits us. The end is near. All that has been done to children, all these people that have done these dastardly deeds for elevation in society and for money, it has come to an end. Thank you for listening. Peace and blessings.
I pray you have ears to hear, because there's an evil approaching. In fact, it's already here. Our children are being taken, tortured, and abused, sold for money, unseen and used, enduring the unspeakable, breathing fear with every breath. Their silent screams unanswered, afraid and scared to death. Will anyone rescue me? Will you carry me away? Bring me to a place of no suffering or pain. Come quickly. I pray you have ears to hear, because there's an evil approaching. Oh no, he's here. There are more human slaves in the world today than there has ever been in history. And human trafficking is a billion-dollar industry. We must save our children from this nightmare, from this hell. Because our children, God's children, are not for sale. You are not hidden. Never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. You have been broken